David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Knowing your love of discussing all things injuries, can I just throw a few names out at you and you can tell me their status for Sunday's game?
You have the floor, David.
Thank you. Wow. Ezekiel Elliott, start with him. Is he unlikely to play, would you think, at this stage?
I'll tell you, the only chance he would have to play is if he keeps going on the rate that he's actually has been going. I mean, he's doing a lot better than we anticipated from earlier in the week. So if he practices tomorrow, then he'd have a chance to play.
Also, Micah Parsons, he showed up yesterday.
Yeah, I think Micah's, I see Micah practicing tomorrow. So.
Also, Williams with the foot.
I think Sam definitely has a chance to practice tomorrow. And if, obviously everything goes well, then.
Was that something you get in practice?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
The day before?
Yeah, Wednesday's practice.
Malik Hooker?
Same deal. I mean, he'll be. Technically we're in a mock game today, but he would be in the rehab group today if we were in a Thursday type practice.
And the last one, Noah Brown, is he maybe a little farther?
He's making progress. Yeah, he's doing well. So same deal. We got to see him go tomorrow.
Clarence Hill forward starts over. David did a good job running that down.
It's really nice to see the compliments each other. Seriously, that's the way it should be.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
complimentary media.
no, I mean serious. Oh, totally. Yeah, totally.
Regarding the running back position, if Zeke doesn't play, do you need someone else beside Malik?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, our practice squad, we feel good about both our guys, both our young guys. So, we've been getting them ready if it goes to that. Yeah, definitely.
Todd Archer, ESPN. How's Tolbert's development here? I know he's played a handful of snaps, but he's not really been able to.
Yeah, definitely. Going all the way back to Jalen. If you look at his training camp, the hamstring injury and not having the opportunity really on special teams, so he was behind in that area. But I think he's made steady progress as far as a receiver in the offense aspect of it. So I think he's continuing to get better. I mean, he had an excellent route down there in the 2 minute on Wednesday. That when you see players flash like that and do something above the line like that. So I feel really good about what he's doing offensively. Just needs to continue to improve on special teams. So I think he's getting better each week.
Michael
Gelkin, Dallas Morning News. Malik, running back.
You said Malik Turner.
I almost did. Yeah.
You said.
I stopped. Did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's like when you say nervous and you walk it back and doesn't. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. How has he looked throughout this whole process?
Which Malik?
You know which one.
I know.
You're running back from Florida.
Did you forget his name?
I'm tired.
Oh.
Malik Davis, sorry.
All right, Malik Davis doing a heck of a job. No, I thought really his opportunity to play on teams, same deal. It's just any young player, you see what they do, all the time at practice. He's practiced really well. I thought he ran the ball extremely well in the preseason. So, we definitely have been preparing for him to get some opportunities this week.
Would you do a lot of the Zeke type work, or how did you blend him in a way without giving the game plan away?
Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
John Michaud, The Athletic. When you have a high number of defensive linemen that you would like to play, how does that conversation go down? Does it really come down to you and Dan deciding on Saturday, or do you have a good idea during the week who it's going to be?
I mean, really, the way we do it, it starts Monday, really Monday night, or sometimes even as late as Tuesday afternoon. Because, if you have scans and things that go on, we have sick call. It's, if you play a noon game, sick calls at 9 a.m. on a Monday. So you go through that whole process, make sure everybody checks in, make sure they're good. So, but if there's testing done, so then once we get all the medical information, particularly the projections, and then we'll take a first run through it as the potential 48 is what we have. So I try to get my hands around it Tuesday night before I leave, because then Wednesday morning we have a 7 a.m. staff meeting, and then we go through that. And so we'll say, hey, like the D line, we have potentially 5 defensive tackles are going to be up, but there's 8 guys available. So these 3 are competing, and that's just the way I've always done it. And I feel like you have to do that because, you always want to keep improving the young guys. You don't want a young guy that just think, oh, I'm not up this week. And you got some young guys that are doing some really good things on particular special teams. Just if you watch the special teams tape yesterday, our punt return look team is pretty damn good. I mean, it's I know giving our punt protection unit a real run for the money there. So you got to pay into that, because you may miss the the acceleration of someone and maybe not give them an opportunity as early as they deserve. So that's always been our format, and I think it really helps the growth through the season. It's good competition. We had a very spirited practice yesterday. I mean, it was the workload capacity was outstanding, probably one of the best of the year, and I think that shows the competition that's going on for guys to be on the 48 on Sunday.
Mike Jorrios on Yahoo Sports. How did Jonathan Hankins fare in practice yesterday? What are you seeing from him, and have you seen enough that if you decide to play on Sunday,
he's a pro, number one. I like the way he works. Very detailed in his approach. Obviously, he's been playing. So I thought he'd kind of step right in there. I was impressed with his padded work yesterday.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. I know these games are so precious. How does the bye week impact your decisions on a lot of these hurt guys? Because you get 2 weeks with them off.
Yeah, I've done it both ways. I think at the end of the day, it's really the reality of you have 17 games. And this game's very, very important, and you have to win the game. So no player, no coach wants to go into a game and thinking that, hey, I could have helped us win the game, because every game's so difficult to win in this league. It doesn't matter who you play, what the record is, what they did Monday night. It's especially this stretch that we're on with the NFC North. I mean, these are teams we haven't competed against. I mean, this is back-to-back weeks between Detroit and Chicago that we haven't played against them since 2019, and there's only 6 players, ironically, on both the rosters that we've competed against. So that's where my mind goes on the specifics of how you view the football team. But it's always all hands on deck. I mean, I haven't seen too many times in my career where in the type of injury plays into it too, obviously. So there's no absolutes here. But we've always taken an approach that, hey, if he can go, and projection of reps, play time, all those things factor, and then you want to line up with your best group, that you feel gives you a chance to win the game.
I'm sure the Bears are waiting for this information, but the 8th offensive lineman, do you have a decision there on what you're going to be able to do on those guys?
I do not. I think if you really take a deep dive into our roster, I mean, it's, we'll be huddling a little longer than we probably ever have Saturday after practice.
Dave Laufenberg, Cowboys Radio Network. You mentioned Malik Davis. It is Davis, right?
Yes, correct.
You got Marquise Bell, Peyton Hendershot, I'm sure I'm missing a guy. Some of these free agents that are players.
Yeah.
Is that a byproduct of the COVID and the extra year that these guys, in an ordinary year would have been drafted, and they were just such an influx of 5th, 6th year guys that they pushed them down?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. I think COVID has affected a lot of things. As far as player acquisition, the draft. What players chose to play, not play. I mean, this portal is a whole nother component that affects the path of a college player. So, I mean, you're looking at your evaluation process of the characteristics of each prospect there's more variables now. So I mean, I think that obviously affects those types of situations, and I learned this from Ted Thompson, and I think Will and our staff do an excellent job of it too. But he always felt that there was tremendous value down there at the 5th, 6th, 7th round and free agents. So we spend a lot of time there. So just because you're not drafted, and I think you can really, if you do it right, you have 3-4 guys a year out of that rookie free agent class that can make your team and contribute and turn into quality football players. I mean, that's what history tells you. And the one thing I really appreciate about here at the Dallas Cowboys is we spend money down there in that market, and that's a very healthy market to be in.
Dave.
Mike, earlier when you were talking with John's question about just the competition at a position, saying like 3 guys are going to compete for that final spot. Mm-hmm. As a draft and develop team, do you look in those situations too, everything else being equal, do you look and say, well, this young guy is really, we want to reinforce what he's showing here, so he's earned the right to get up, or is that ever come into?
No. I mean, that's a good point, but I don't think it's not fair to the veteran player either. I think what it really gives you is the opportunity to practice the way you want to practice. Not everybody practices the way we practice, so it's a very competitive practice on Thursdays. Now the timing is a lot less than traditional, but the energy and the way we practice is the way I feel the way it should be, and I think it leads to the play style that we have, but it also keeps that environment, that practice environment, very competitive.
All righty. Thanks, Mike.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Next week.
See you next week.